Road traffic signs, part 4. What does this white line along the centre of the road mean? And again, this is the long white dash with the short separation in between. So it's a hazard warning. What's the reason for the yellow crisscross lines painted on the road here? And the crisscross yellow lines of a box junction. It's to prevent queuing traffic from blocking the junction on the left, so it is a box junction. Ta-da! What's the reason for the hatched area along the centre of this road? Now in the UK you'll recognise that sort of reddy brown pigmentation of a central like island between lanes with hatch markings on, and it separates traffic flowing in opposite directions. Other drivers may sometimes flash their headlights at you. In which situation are they allowed to do this? To warn you of their presence. What speed limit is often found in narrow residential streets? 20 miles per hour. What does this signal mean? Now this is the question that kept throwing me. And the reason it throws me is it looks like a normal traffic light with a little, the little filter light to the side, but this filter light looks like a no entry sign, and what it's supposed to look like is a white lit bar in the middle of this circle, and it doesn't look like a lit bar in the middle of the circle in the test. But basically, if the normal traffic light has a green, but the one to the right of the green has a lit white bar across the middle, that's trams must stop. Where would you find these road markings? And it's basically just the normal markings around a mini roundabout with the arrows around the central white circle on the road. So it's at a mini roundabout. A police car is following you. The police officer flashes the headlights and points to the left. What should you do? We've discussed this already. The answer is pull up on the left. You see this amber traffic light ahead. Which light or lights will come on next? And the answer is red alone. You see this signal overhead on the motorway. What does it mean? So again, we've got the black motorway sign. This is the longer horizontal black sign. We've got the same yellow flashing lights again, with an arrow again going upwards and then turning to the left, so it means leave the motorway at the next exit. What must you do when you see this sign? So this again is the traditional stop sign. It says stop, and it's octagonal with 8 sides, so it's stop even if the road is clear. Which shape is used for a give way sign? And the answer is the inverted upside down warning sign. So it's an upside down warning triangle. What does this sign mean? And the sign is the blue circle, solid blue circle with the circulating arrows going round, and that's a mini roundabout. What does this sign mean? It's the red warning triangle with at the top of it there's an arrow going to the right, and underneath is an arrow going to the left, and it's two-way traffic crosses a one-way road. And apparently this is tricky for a lot of people in the test, so there's a very similar sign and they ask you that next in the book. What does this sign mean? And it's a very similar red warning triangle, but this time there's a black arrow going up on the left and a black arrow going down on the right. And the answer to this sign is it's a two-way traffic straight ahead. What does this sign mean? And it's a red triangle with a hump bridge, and the reason it's different to humps in the road is you can see the actual white circle under the bridge, whereas a hump in the road is really flat at the bottom, flat black at the bottom. What does this sign mean? It's your long horizontal rectangle, but with an arrow to the right of it, and inside it you've got a long blue horizontal rectangle with a white P, and then a plus sign and a long bus. So it's direction to park and ride car park. What should you do when approaching traffic lights where red and amber are showing together? Wait for the green light. Where does this marking normally appear on a road? And it's the usual giveaway, like an inverted triangle pointing downwards in white on the road. So it's just before a giveaway sign. At a railway level crossing, the red lights continue to flash after a train has gone by. What should you do? Wait. You're in a tunnel and you see this sign. What does it mean? And this is a long horizontal rectangle. So it's got a yellow border, but it's green inside, and it's a white figure running with an arrow pointing towards a door. So it's direction to emergency pedestrian exit. Which of these signs shows that you're entering a one-way system? That's the rectangular blue sign with a white arrow pointing upwards. What does this sign mean? And this is a horizontal blue sign, horizontal blue rectangle sign. On the left, you have a bus with a cycle under it, and then you have a white line to the right of those, and that is a with flow bus and cycle lane. What does this sign mean? This is a red warning triangle, and there is what looks like a male gentleman walking to the right with two dashed lines at either side of him, because this is a zebra crossing ahead sign. Which arm signal tells you that the car you're following is going to pull up? Now, so this is the right arm, obviously, because most of them are right arms out the window, and the hand is waving up and down. Which of these signs means turn left ahead? So this is the solid blue circle, and as we've discussed with the motorway signs, the arrow starts to go up, then turns off to the left. You're approaching a red traffic light. What will the signal show next? Red and amber. What does this sign mean? So this is a red warning triangle, and it's clearly got a tunnel inside it. So it's tunnel ahead. What does the white line along the side of the road indicate? So this is a very basic white line at the edge of the road. So it's just the edge of the carriageway. And what does this white arrow on the road ahead mean? And so there's a white arrow to the left of the hatched markings in the middle of the road. So it means keep left of the hatched markings. How should you give an arm signal to turn left? So the answer is you put your right arm out of the window and you turn it forwards and make a circle with your hand. You're waiting at a T-junction. A vehicle is coming from the right with its left indicator flashing. What should you do? Wait until the vehicle starts to turn in. That's for safety, to make sure it's not driving past you and into you in case it hits you as you leave. When may you use hazard warning lights while you're driving? On a motorway or unrestricted dual carriageway to warn of a hazard ahead. When can you park on these markings outside a school? So these are the markings I've just seen coming home with my son outside the school. And in big yellow letters it says school, keep clear, and at either side some wavy, jagged zigzag lines in yellow. So the answer is not under any circumstances. Why should you make sure that your indicators are cancelled after turning? To avoid misleading other road users. You're driving in busy traffic. You want to pull up on the left just after a junction on the left. When should you signal? as you're passing or just after the junction. So now the case study. You're driving through an area where there are many pedestrians. There's a turning ahead with a red bordered round sign showing a car with a motorcycle above it. Outside town, the single carriageway road has double unbroken white centre lines. You see several signs with brown backgrounds. You approach a traffic light that's showing green. The signal changes just before you reach it. What's meant by the round sign described above? No motor vehicles. What do the lines along the centre of the road tell you? No parking. What's the national speed limit on the road outside of town? 60 miles per hour. What details would you find on the brown signs? Tourist information. As the traffic lights change, what colour signal would you see next? An amber light on its own. And so ends that section.